What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Weird video for you guys today. Not really, but I swear to God, I uploaded a video on Malignant like a year and a half ago. I remember talking about it. I remember uploading it, but I was scrolling through my movie reviews. I was scrolling through my uploaded videos, and for the life of me, either I'm slow or I genuinely just didn't do this. So here's me talking about Malignant. I just watched it for the third time, obviously for spooky season, so I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna talk about it because I ended up loving it. The first time I watched this movie, I wasn't a fan at all. Didn't like it. Then the second time I was like, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from, kinda, but it's not for me. And then the third time, this time, must be a charm because holy shit, I love this movie. So obviously I'm gonna be talking about it, some light spoilers. I'm gonna try not to get super spoilery, but I'm high as shit, so that'll probably end up happening. Also, we will be smoking, but later, because full disclosure, this is the third take of me doing this. I've just oh my god, what the fuck? This is my third take doing this video and I'm already high as shit, so we're just gonna smoke a little later. But obviously, if you don't know about Malignant is directed by legendary director James Wan. It's about this woman that is having problems. How do I talk about this with no spoilers? Oh my god. Okay, so essentially, spoiler alert, this woman has an injury that ends up relaying itself in physical hallucinations and brain problems. I'm gonna keep that in because that's genuinely the best way to describe this movie, going in blind. I will go into spoilers, but just later on. I kind of want to talk about what I liked about the movie first and compare it to the previous times that I watched it. And obviously, this is why I'm going to split it up in half. And this is why I ended up making this video 3 times, because I was like, fuck, I got to do it this way now. Okay, so this is for the people that want to go in blind. This part right here. This is a great movie from James Wan. Obviously, it's controversial because if you don't know where he's coming from in the making of this movie and what he's trying to convey in the camp and certain homages and the dialogue in this film can seem a certain way that can lead you to not like the film, like I did the first couple times. And I think that going in blind to a certain degree is almost a detriment. So all that I would say is that this movie uses the camp, uses, I don't want to use the word corniness because that's not what it is, but that is what it is. But it uses it to its advantage and uses it to very clearly convey what it's trying to get across and what it wants to be as a film. I'm just slow, and I can't believe it took me 3 watches to really fully immerse myself in the world that James Wan is trying to create here. And I thought that the direction was really beautiful. It flows so well. It doesn't feel long. There's not really any slow parts, and the entire time you're thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like, genuinely, what the fuck? And I love that about the movie. I don't know why it took me 3 times to love that about the movie, but that's why I always preach rewatch and re-listen, because you really never know when a movie or an album will stick out to you. And this one really stuck out to me, and I loved it a lot. I really liked the cinematography. There's a really good shot of the protagonist running through the house, and we get an overhead shot of her running from room to room. There's really nice profile shots with her sitting on the floor and it's just like spinning. The CGI is pretty good too, pretty good special effects. As far as the dialogue and the plot and shit like that, it's hard to talk about because, like I said, it uses the campiness to its advantage And it's definitely playing on that early 2000s, 90s, even going back into some 80s territory. And it goes from being a horror movie straight up almost to an action film. And I didn't think that the camera work did a lot of changing, you know what I mean? Like, it could have easily delved into corny action shots with shaky cam and shit like that. None of that here. I really think that the direction and the cinematography was beautiful. I don't really want to get into spoilers yet, but the fight sequences, fantastic. Like, crazy good violence in this movie. Like, some part, and I'm pretty desensitized, and there were still some parts that I was like, huh? Because it was just so out of nowhere and so random. But I love this movie, and I do think you should go in blind, because there is a part of me that's like, damn, someone who's smarter than me would go in blind, realize what James Wan is trying to do, and love this. But for someone like me who might need to watch something 2 or 3 times to really get the full effect, this next part's for you. Spoiler fucking alert. What the fuck is this movie, bro? This movie goes from 0 to 100 so quick, and it's insane. I love the originality of the plot. I love the idea of a parasitic twin. I love the idea of a part of him still being in there and just lying dormant until the bop. And then it just goes crazy, and then it's over. It's over. He was waiting for that moment, and I loved. This is the main thing I wanted to talk about, bro. When it switches and we get him going into this corny, like, suited up, like, crazy shit, I thought that was so cool. The first 2 times I watched this movie, it did not register with me at all. I was like, this is so... The first time, I was just like, this is so weird. I don't even understand where he's trying to go with this. And the second time, I was like, I get it, but this is not for me. The third time, I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. Like, I was floored watching this with my girlfriend. Like, bro, I was like, this is so fucking sick. When he runs backwards... Shut the fuck up, bro. Those shots of him running backwards are so cool when he's doing all the parkour and the cop chase and all the shit. When he murders all those cops in the station. Oh my god, bro. When this movie delves into the action aspect, I love that. And I'm not a huge fan of action movies, and I love that they didn't use any shaky cam or anything like that. It was just beautifully directed, beautifully shot. I love the use of the dark. Usually movies like this will use the dark and use it to hide things, bad CGI, stuff like that. But I thought the use of the dark in this film was genuinely fantastic, and it really added to the whole... I don't want to say like murkiness, because that's really not the word for it, but almost like a griminess to how Gabriel is, how grimy he is, how vindictive and full of revenge he is. I think the darkness just really adds to that feeling. I think so does his suit. I think the movie has great use of violence too. Oh my god. Not over the top, not gratuitous. It could have been, and I feel like that almost might have taken the movie into different territory, but I think that I like that it rides that action movie, horror movie line. And this is a completely different direction for James Wan, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's delved into action this way before, but I loved this. And I think it took me so many times because I really just didn't understand where he was coming from. And then the third time, it just clicked. Everything just clicked, and I don't know why. But I think this movie is fantastic, and I highly recommend it. I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. Malignant is weird. It's funny. It's spoopy. It's got action. The acting is pretty good too, and I love a movie that can make you feel scared and can also make you smile at the same time. And I think this movie delivers that. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're a fan of James Wan, I think that he definitely shows off his props in this one. and I think you should check it out. Malignant, I think I gave it a 4. Or did I give it a 5? I'm pretty sure I gave it a 5 out of 5, bro. I love this fucking movie, man. And it's crazy because it went from a 2 to a 3.5 to a 5. So that's insane. That's crazy. And like I said in a previous part of the video, that's why I always preach rewatch and re-listen. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Malignant. Let me know if I did make a video about this and I'm just slow. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Check out the next video and fuck off.